Here on Liquid Lunch on NEWSMAX TV. I'm John TABACCO. We're coming to you live today as we do every day, noon to 2 Eastern, from the Question Tequila Studios. We are in downtown Manhattan, just a few blocks away from the New York Stock Exchange. And the Dow is up almost 50 points now. And from its lowest point this morning, it's up almost 300 points. Maybe the announcement that the President has decided to reconsider his decision to have the G7 at Trump Doral, calm some fears with people, and some positive news coming out of the talks with China seems to have leveled things off and put us into a positive territory, which is good news. Bitcoin down just a smidge this morning, but the show continues to go upward today, regardless of the markets. When we bring in, I've been talking on this show for months now with my good friend Martha Bonetta, and we've had on other Republican candidates who are going after these seats that the Democrats took in the House in the midterm elections. And Georgia's 6th congressional district is one that was held by the Republicans for 40 years. Okay, and in those midterms, this is one of those ones where Trump won the district in the presidential, and then it was lost to a Democrat in the midterms. And we are trying to find the best people and focus in on them and bring attention to them who could take back at least 19 of those 31, so we can take back the House and get some people in there who support our president. And one of those joins us today. It's Majorie Greene. Majorie is the Republican candidate for the congressional seat there in Georgia 6. Majorie, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. I know you're a businesswoman. I know you're a mom. I know there are a slew of other Republicans who are all saying they're going to chase down this seat. But what I know is moms in business are the toughest fighters out there. How are you going to help us take back this seat?
Well, you're exactly right. And thank you for having me on, John. Moms and business owners are the toughest fighters out there because we never give up. And to be honest with you, this is something I never thought I would be doing, but it's come to a point where I'm seeing so much failure in our federal government, and they are unable to accomplish the things that business owners like me and many people who work in the private sector we're able to accomplish. You know, we cross all our T's, we dot all our I's, and we pay our taxes, and we're successful year after year. But our federal government is failing us, and Congress is failing us. And so as a mom looking forward to the future for my kids, I'm not seeing those same freedoms and same opportunities being offered up, especially by the Democrats. And so that's why I put my name in, and I'm fighting for it.
So Lucy McBath is the woman who took that seat from the Republicans after 40 years. She won in those midterm elections. She's a first-term incumbent, which tend to be the most vulnerable to take out. When I look at Georgia 6, I see $72,000 median household income. I see 93% high school graduation rate, a 57% college graduation rate. Sounds to me like a hard-working, blue-collar, family values district. What separates you from Lucy McBath?
The difference in me and Lucy McBath is, well, Lucy McBath, she came in. Now, I want to tell you, she came in and presented herself to our district as a moderate Democrat. She presented a very friendly, smiling face, said that she cared about health care, said that she cared about, gun control. She said that she cared about families, and she said she cared about small businesses, and promised she would never pass the living wage, the $15 minimum wage. But once she was elected and she beat out Karen Handel, she went to Congress, and her votes are proving otherwise. She votes 92% of the time the same as AOC, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib. She is not a moderate. She's a socialist, and her votes are proving it. And then after promising us that she wouldn't hurt small businesses like mine by passing that $15 minimum wage, she went ahead and voted for it and passed it. So now the 6th District is very aware of who Lucy McBath is, and we're very aware of her voting record. Now, the stark contrast between myself and Lucy is I'm proven in the real world. I'm a successful business owner for almost 2 decades. Not only did I buy my dad's construction company and successfully build it from the state of Georgia to 11 other states, producing thousands of jobs over the past 17 years, but I also started a small business right here in the district, which is a CrossFit gym, because that was a hobby that I absolutely loved. I loved doing CrossFit and competing in it. Another difference in Lucy and I is I'm actually from the district. I was born and raised in the state of Georgia and the 6th district. I've been a homeowner here since 1997. Lucy's actually from Tennessee, where she lived when she actually filed to run for Congress back when she ran against Karen Handel in 2018. Lucy doesn't represent the 6th district. She does not represent families, conservative values, and she doesn't help our businesses. And that is an extreme difference between she and I.
That's a pretty amazing track record you have. So this Lucy McBath apparently just carpetbagged it in what was supposedly a blue wave, but she's not even, how could she understand the problems facing the district? And you're a mom too, so you not only understand the business values, but you have family values. Are there other things that separate you even from the Republican field? Because I know you're facing a bunch of challengers out there.
Absolutely. So our district is really interesting. In 2016, our former Congressman, Tom Price, he easily won the election at 61.7% of the vote. So we were a strong conservative district in 2016. However, he resigned and went to work for President Trump for a short time. And then we had a special election. And that was the most expensive race in U.S. history. That was when John Ossoff ran against Karen Handel. Karen Handel was our Republican. Karen Handel was barely able to win that race at just over 51% of the votes. Most of us voted for her because we didn't want John Ossoff, we didn't want a Democrat, and we didn't want an outsider who didn't live in our district. Then when Karen Handel ran again in 2018, after she voted for the $1.3 trillion omnibus bill, which I want to remind you, funded Planned Parenthood for $500 million, did not fund our border wall, did not defund sanctuary cities, and did many other things that were very disappointing to the American people, other than being disastrously expensive. She lost our seat in 2018 at just under 50% of the vote.
Wow.
Now, the difference is we haven't flipped blue in just 2 years, and I'll tell you why. Recent polling in our district shows that 60% of people here in the 6th district oppose impeachment. See, that 60% correlates with Tom Price's 61% that he won in 2016. So we're still a conservative district. The problem is the 6th district needs a true conservative to vote for. Right, Karen Handel, my opponent, are neither.
Okay. Well, those 60% of the ones we need you to go after with all the vigor that you can. And if there's any way we can help you get your message out there, we certainly will. I'm happy to even come down and help out as long as you don't have an event at the gym because I'm allergic to gyms. But
okay, I want to tell you one other thing. Back in January, I was really upset that the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi did not fund our border wall. And I wrote an official White House petition to impeach Nancy Pelosi. It takes 30 days to prove your petition to be a real petition, and you have to get 100,000 signatures. Back in January of 2019, I was able to get over 182,000 signatures on my petition, and that's when I was just a regular American citizen.
Wow.
That petition today has over 260,000 signatures. It's an official petition. Right. I'm a hard worker, and I'm not afraid to say the truth, and I'm not afraid to fight.
Marjorie Green, we're going to have you back. Marjorie Green, we're going to have you back. Thank you so much for joining us. You're watching Liquid Lunch on NEWSMAX TV. That's Marjorie Green, candidate for the 6th Congressional District in Georgia. Quick break. Back with Timmy Collins right after this.